Hello YouTube, it's your boy B3 back another kicking graphic novel review. We got a good trade for you guys today. One I've been promising, Batman Detective Comics Volume 2, The Victim Syndicate. Really good, love Detective Comics, one of my favorite Rebirth runs. I'm going to read you the back real quick. To save Gotham City, they will destroy the Dark Knight. They call themselves the Victim Syndicate because they're all victims. Men and women who got caught in the crossfire between Batman and his deadliest enemies. Their lives ruined, they were all left with terrible powers. Powers they now use to make sure no one else ends up as they did. And to accomplish this, they've painted a target on the back of everyone who wears the symbol of the bat. But now there are more Bat heroes than ever before. Batman has assembled a team: Batwoman, Orphan, Spoiler, Clayface, and Batwing. But the hero who inspires the group's formation and held them together, Tim Drake, aka Red Robin, is dead. With Tim's death looming over everyone, can the Victim Syndicate find a sympathetic ear within the team itself? And can one rogue agent be enough to bring down a whole team of heroes and make Batman hang up his cape for good? Writer James Tynion IV and artists Alvarado Martinez and Eddie Barrows continue their critically acclaimed reinvention of the Dark Knight and his allies. Plus, in a special two-part story illustrated by Ben Oliver, Batwoman explores the secret research zone known as Monster Town, leading into Batwoman Rebirth series. Collects Detective Comics 943 through 949. Also, I am going to read Batwoman Rebirth, just so you know. I already have Volume 1. I'll get to it later. But I want to finish up my Detective Comics first. I've already done 1 and 4, and also Batman Night of the Monster Men, and this happens after Night of the Monster Men. And I still have to do number 3. I'm sorry I skipped 2 and did 4, but that's just how it works out sometimes. But yeah, the Victim Syndicate. So there are several members of the Victim Syndicate. There's one called the Mute, who can silence a room. He can make noises go away. People won't be able to talk. There's their leader, who has this like energy shield around them, but it's tech, it's not a power. There's one guy who has like all these different diseases in him, and he can kill anyone with disease in an instant, which is pretty crazy. There's this one chick who studied under Scarecrow, but was also used in his experiments, and she has an anti-fear toxin that keeps people from holding back their fears, so they'll like shoot into a crowd and not be afraid to hit anybody, and all kinds of stuff like that. It's actually pretty cool. And then there's Mudface. She's like Clayface, but she can't control her powers, so she's just like a piley, muddy person all the time. But yeah, so they like attack Wayne Tech and do stuff, and then Stephanie's talking to Harper about she doesn't know if she can be Spoiler anymore, and Tim's Drake, and then they bring Batwing onto the team because they need a tech guy, but Batwoman does not want him there. She does not think he belongs on the team. She thinks it's just a thrill ride for him because he doesn't have the pain that everyone else has. But they fight the Victim Syndicate. The Syndicate gets away. And then Spoiler actually got hit by the toxin guy, but just enough to take her down, not enough to kill her. And then the leader of the Victim Syndicate came in and was like, hey, you aight? She checked up on her. Well, the Victim Syndicate person's androgynous. You don't know if they're a man or a woman, which I think was a good move. They're called the First Victim because they were the first victim of Batman's, because they're like injured because villains are going after Batman, so they have something against Batman. It's like one of them was injured by Clayface, who's reformed now, and he dumped a bunch of chemicals on her that made her kind of like him when he was trying to find Batman. And Leslie Thompson is giving everyone psych evals, and we see a little Azrael. We don't see much of Azrael in Volumes 1 and 2. We see a lot of him in Volume 4. Volume 4 is about him. But Batwing's kind of helping him out with all their tech. And then Stephanie betrays them. She's like, I don't want to be on your team anymore. She already really didn't even like being a vigilante. She kind of just did it for Tim, and she was more of the crowd control type and not really the punch and kick kind of type of vigilante. But she gets a new mask. Like it looks more like her classic Spoiler mask. See that? So she's running around doing her thing, and she knows how to take down everyone. She can't take down Batman, but she does threaten to reveal everyone's secret identities and everything if he doesn't hang up his mask, but she was bluffing. And then Clayface tries to make things right with Mudface. He's visiting her in the hospital. By hospital, I mean Arkham. But they do take down the Victim Syndicate. They weren't the biggest threat, to be completely honest. But good enough threat to, have their own story. And then Tim Drake actually escapes from Dr. Oz's prison, sees something, and is teleported back into a cell. But he's confused about what he saw. I don't know what he saw yet. Then we have a story about Batwoman, how she's tracking Batman and her first face-to-face encounter with Batman. And there's a story about her and Batman. They go to the area where that monster corpse is. It's a quarantined area of Gotham called Monster Town, because you know that Venom turns living things into monsters. It turned a Nightwing into a monster, it turned Gotham Girl into a monster, and now it's turning like seagulls and rats into monsters, which is really cool. And then Colony Prime, who is like the best colony soldier, a one-man army, infiltrates the Belfry to get Batwoman's dad out, but they kick his ass. Or should I say she kicks his ass. Batman doesn't even really fight him. So Batwoman kicks his ass, and then her dad is like, I'll tell you everything you want to know about the colony, about the bioweapons. I'll tell you everything you want to know, but I'll only tell it to you because I want to see my daughter. Which would be sweet if he didn't betray her. And Colony Prime injected himself with the bio venom and turned into a monster, but he still kept his mind, which was pretty cool. But he escaped, so he'll be back one of these days. But yeah, that's it. So that leads into the Batwoman book, which I'm also excited to read. I really love Batwoman. But I mean, it's a good book. Batman Detective Comics, Volume 3, The Victim Syndicate. Volume 2, The Victim Syndicate. That's my bad. But yeah, so I'll be doing Volume 3 next, probably. Then I don't know what I'm doing after that. Maybe some Action Comics, maybe some Superior Spider-Man, maybe some Venom. I don't know. But that's it. Let me know what you want me to read in the description below. I can do any of those books I just mentioned. I can do Green Lantern. I can do events or single stories like Kingdom Come. And All-Star Superman. I can do Flashpoint stuff. I can do Earth 2 stuff. I can do Injustice stuff. And I have plenty of Marvel stuff I can do too. Plenty of Spider-Man and Silk and all that junk. But yeah, that's it. Thank you all once again for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the links in the description below, Facebook, Twitter, etc. And I'll be seeing you all later. Peace out.